Great.
So, welcome everybody. I'm Tracey-Jane Hughes from Manage Those Things. And as Manage Those Things, we have a business cheerleading club for businesses to get support and encouragement to grow their businesses their way. And I'm delighted to welcome today Laura Donnelly from Dancing with Ease, who has a fabulous business and helps so many people to increase and work with their energy. And as business owners, that's one of the biggest things that I hear is that, you know, firstly, I don't have time, but often that time is related to not having enough energy to do something or brain space. And all of these things are interlinked. So Laura, just tell me a little bit about you.
Oh, wow.
Just a little bit.
The Cliff Notes version.
Yes.
I grew up as a dancer. My mom was a dance teacher. So I have been involved with how the body works and functions my whole life. And as a 20-something age dancer, I discovered the Alexander technique. And it made me feel the same kind of joy I had had as a child before I kind of locked into a perfectionist mindset about how I had to dance. So all this joy came back to my dancing, as well as a youthful feeling in my body for how I could move. So I began studying the technique and realized that it applies to everything, not just how you move. And the foundation of the technique is looking at how you think and what you put your attention on and how that affects how your body feels, how your energy moves through your whole system, and what you're able to do. And the other thing that's really cool is the response you get from people when you are focusing on your own easiness changes. So, like, I'm pretty excited to be here, but if I'm so excited, I lean forward like this. See, that made you kind of uncomfortable right away. But if I just say I'm really excited, and I ask myself, what do I feel a little bit of easiness in my body? How can I express that excitedness in a way that welcomes people?
Okay.
So this has uses for negotiation. It has uses for presentation if you're going to do a presentation. It has a lot of benefit for people going live on, YouTube or anywhere else. How do you engage people without pressing on them?
But that all starts with you. That's about you finding your own easiness in your body. And you found this through dance originally.
That was my entry into discovering the Alexander technique. I had gotten to be about 28, 29, and things weren't working as well as they had worked when I was younger. I had a couple of injuries, and it's just a little crunchy, which actually happens to everybody. And so what I realized through my studies and starting to teach Alexander technique is that usually we get in our own way.
Yes.
Our own thinking, whether it's fear, excitement, desire, desire, I want this thing, and that takes you out of yourself and somewhere else. And as soon as you're not fully present in your body, you don't have access to all of your energy, all of your ideas, and all of your ability to communicate.
Okay, so having control of our own energy and our own body means that we are able to do things better or more effectively. Is that?
Yep, easier, more easily,
and what? Okay, yeah. Okay,
more easily. And what you can do is what the Alexander technique helps a person do is discover the exact amount of energy that every activity takes.
Okay.
And most of the time, we use too much energy for everything. So, like one example I like to use is to think about scrambling eggs for breakfast. So, do you need to squeeze the spoon or fork? Do you need to beat the eggs? Or can you see, like if I pick up my pen, how much energy does it really take to hold something? Almost nothing. How much energy does it take? So just by asking your question, how easily can I scramble these eggs? Something changes in your body. And when you give that space to your body, it realigns itself in its perfectly natural, organic, best functioning way.
So literally, just by asking yourself that question, that's helping you to get in the right place for that particular activity.
That question takes you out of your whatever you're thinking about. So,
okay.
Say you have a deadline, and you're like, I've got to get this done. I got to get this done. And then you say, well, how easily can I get this done? Then you just have a moment of space.
Okay.
Yeah, and you actually just did it right now, because did you hear your voice change?
Yes.
This comes from the idea that in the guy who invented the technique was named Frederick Matthias Alexander, and he thought that wasn't very easy to say, so he called himself FM.
Okay.
He was an actor, and he lost his voice. The doctors would tell him to rest. He got better when he rested, but when he would go back onto the touring circuit, he lost his voice again. He said to himself, I must be doing something. And he went to the expert, the doctor, and said, what am I doing that's causing me to lose my voice? If I rest, I'm fine, but when I work, I lose my voice. And the doctor said, well, you're probably doing something, but I have no idea what. And so he went and began to observe himself, to see what he was doing that was causing him to lose his voice.
Okay.
Took a bunch of years. And this was like in the late 1800s. So this was very unusual work, except for there were kind of a lot of people starting to do this within the next 20 years from about 1895 on.
Okay.
But people didn't understand the connection between the mind and the body. He called it psychophysical unity, which is what you think about informs your whole body and how your body works.
Yeah.
He used a whole lot of really big words.
I'm not even going to try to spell that one.
No.
My brain's not going to work with that one. I'll put it down later.
Well, what it really means, the short version of that, is easiness anywhere is easiness everywhere. And tension anywhere is tension everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't need some tension. If we had no tension, like we would kind of be like a sack of amoeba on the ground. But we need the kind of dynamic flow that allows you to have the right amount of energy, tension, physicality for whatever activity you're doing. So say that you're doing a high jump or some kind of athletic thing. Well, you've got to run, you've got to push off. But if when you push off, you go down and you stick a minute, then you have to restart to get over that high bar.
Yeah.
And athletes are wonderful to watch because they often have this natural ability and what people call being in the zone. But by practicing the Alexander technique, you can put yourself in the zone whenever you want to, which is pretty awesome.
It is. My son, my eldest son, is actually an athlete. He's training to be doing the decathlon. So high jump is something that he goes through love and hate relationship with. But we can actually see him when he is relaxed and in that zone. He gets over the bar.
Right.
When he is, really pushing, I need to get this next height, because in decathlon, it's all about points. So it's not just about getting the height or getting a personal best. It's about how many points can I get in this competition to move forward. And when he's focusing on the points rather than being relaxed and getting over that bar, you can see that tension. And you're absolutely right. Athletes and dancers, are really fantastic people to watch, because you can physically see them relax and then they do their best work. So, that follows that as business owners, if we are relaxed, then we should be doing our best work too.
That's it, exactly. And you just put it in a nutshell. What you described when your son is worried about the points, Alexander called this end gaining. And this is being more interested in the end result than staying present each moment on the way to the end result. So we need a goal, right? Without a goal, without wanting to win the decathlon, your son wouldn't train at all.
Yeah.
So the goal is good. But as soon as you described it, that he tenses around a specific result, he interferes with his natural kinesthetic good function.
Okay.
And so the Alexander technique is also a way of managing your fears, your mindset, your desire for certain outcomes. Doesn't deny any of those things. Those things all exist, but it gives you tools so that you don't have to be run by those things. They don't have to change how you do something.
Yeah.
So I have two things. I have a little exercise I want to teach, and I have
brilliant.
I have a little demonstration. One of the things that Alexander discovered was that the head and neck relationship, he called that the primary control. If you think about that, that's where everything goes from your brain to your body, but also everything from your body that nourishes your brain goes through the neck. So it's a two-way highway.
Okay.
So thinking about a hose in your garden, if you squeeze the hose, what happens to the water flow? It
stops.
Same thing with your neck. So if I decide to go like this and I'm squishing my head and my neck because I'm at my computer and I got to have a deadline, what happened to the quality of my voice? Not very nice.
It changed totally, Laura. That's brilliant.
Yep. So you can see how if you're giving a presentation or speaking publicly, a key that you lost your ease is that you start to speak too fast, or your voice starts to shoot out rather than just kind of flow in a circle in a way that invites people to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah.
So a key for people is if they can become aware of when they lose track of their body, and especially what they're doing with their head and neck, and can use that as a signal to just take a moment to pause. Then, let me ask you if this makes sense to you. If I just ask you to scan your body, does that give you an image of something to do?
Yes, it does to me. I've done some meditation work and work on. I have regular massages and I take reflexology, so I'm familiar with those terms.
Great.
So and yes, I think a lot of people are now, more aware of understanding these terms, but maybe not using them for.
They might not use them in their business, but they might use them for themselves or how they manage their own body.
Yeah.
So what we're going to just do is take a quick scan, and then if you would just tell me something you notice about your body.
Okay.
Did you know what did?
Yeah, I've got tension in my right shoulder.
There was maybe a pause in the video, so I didn't hear you. So what you
Oh, okay,
noticed?
sorry.
That's okay. This is the internet. It's awesome, but not perfect.
I know. Yes. So the first thing I noticed was I was going head down, and I noticed I've got some tension in my right shoulder, which my shoulders do get very tense, but
Okay.
my right one particularly.
A little more. So
Yes.
this is awesome. And so the purpose of scanning is to give your body a moment to communicate with you. You know, we get very busy. We're talking. In the course of talking, the shoulder kind of disappears from your point of reference because you're thinking about what I'm saying. You're thinking about what you're going to type, all that stuff. So in general, if we just take that pause, our body can share with us what's going on. So you know where that is. Oh, that was great. See, now you're getting a little bit easier. I heard it in your voice. It's so nice. So where your shoulder is, you know that tension is there. Can you scan gently again, very quickly, for a place a little bit distance away in your body that's easier than your shoulder?
Yes, my heart and stomach area, they're, you know, very easy and comfortable.
Wonderful. And then can you scan again and find a place a little bit further away from your heart and stomach area that's even easier than those?
Yeah, my legs and calves and feet, everything is just easing. Everything is just.
That's beautiful. I can see it. And anybody who watches the video will be able to see it, and they will respond to that easiness by getting easier in themselves. This is like a mirror neuron reflex.
Okay.
So just that little scanning exercise. And you said everything is getting easier, and you were like, whoa. And you were
even the tension in my right shoulder is not as noticeable now. It feels like it's gone. You know, it's just because I've acknowledged that it was there, and it has now, you know, just eased.
And you put your attention on easiness. And right in the beginning, what we talked about was easiness anywhere is easiness everywhere. So now if you go back, you're familiar with this. It is a kind of a semi-recurring thing in your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
You know, think about how that feels. And see, and already I heard your voice change when I asked you to go back there.
Okay.
So this is one of the key points about awareness, is that what we choose to put our, see, I got excited. I love this. I love this. But what we choose to put our attention on is what will manifest and grow. Yeah, I see that. So whenever you can notice that you're not being easy, and you can give yourself this little moment to pause and just do this scan, and then the place that is tense is always going to speak to you first because it's loudest. But what you experienced is that there are other things speaking to you. They just aren't speaking as loudly as the tense spot. But when you gave them room to share that they were feeling easy, they actually eased up the tense spot in your shoulder.
Yeah.
It is so simple.
It's amazing, Laura.
It's so simple and so profound. And we so instantly, like when I was getting excited and I told you I love this, you know, and I was like, this is the, and we've been talking about it for a half hour, and just that quickly, I can get caught up in an idea.
Yeah.
I can get caught up in wanting to share this with you and your listeners.
Yeah.
And so one of the main things is that it just takes practice.
Okay.
To teach your mind that instead of focusing on problems, again, it's not that you deny that the problem exists, but instead of focusing on problems, the problem is a signal to remind you to notice easiness.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, solutions to the problem come up, which is really nice. And often solutions that you didn't imagine before. Just like when you were smiling because you were discovering places that felt easy that you hadn't thought about in that way. That same way, allowing easiness allows your mind to feed you solutions to a problem that when you're focused on the problem and focused on a solution, you're on a narrow path. And easiness just gives you a little wider, what do I want to call it? Wider highway.
Okay. That makes sense.
A little more information to choose from.
Yeah. Okay. So as business owners, we are busy. We've got lots to do. We've got lots of things on our list. We've got some things that have to be done today. We've got, children to pick up from school. Can I interrupt? Yeah.
How was your easiness when you said have to be done today?
Yeah, it was really
so just that quick.
But that's how it gets, and that's how I think a lot of business owners feel. So
almost
with all
day.
Of this going on, I think it is, and I think even with the best of intentions, we want to live an easy life. We want our businesses to flow. We want to be in flow and do the best for our business, for our customers, for our families, for our staff. So how do we, with all of this busyness, ensure that we can find the easiness within that? What tips can you give us, Laura, to get us into that and remind us?
I think one of the easiest things to do is to pick, first one, decide that you want to allow noticing easiness into your life as an intention. So that, that's an intention. Then practicing is the exercise we did before is a very easy exercise that you could do morning and night or any time during the day, like driving. If you're driving, you can scan and then you can scan for easiness, because the scanning is not separate from whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It's to allow you to be fully present in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Then I think if people would pick a couple of repetitive tasks in the day that they do, but that aren't that important. So, and then experiment with those and sort of just set them as little reminders when I turn on my computer or when I open my computer in the day. That's a key point where I'll notice again. I'll do the scanning exercise again. Everyone's inclination is to want to use this right away on the thing that bothers them the most.
Okay, yes.
And what I encourage people to do is to just start the practice with the morning scanning. Yeah. And always end where there's where you feel some easiness. If you did this and you were immediately, your body was speaking to you and sharing where it felt more easy.
Yeah.
Some days this is hard to do. And because the neck is the primary control, if you scan, just that quickly, and I can tell you that it's my wrists that feel easy now, which I wasn't even.
Okay.
thinking of my wrist. But if something doesn't speak to you that quickly, then just say neck. Because that reminds your body that it knows the easiest place for your neck to be.
Okay.
The next thing, just through whenever the day you think about it, I like to sometimes just ask, I wonder how easily I can pick up my cell phone. And the idea of wondering takes you out of the good and bad, right and wrong. And because my phone is a big part of my life and my business and how I communicate with the world and function, I pick it up a lot. So a lot of times I've picked it up and I went, oh, I didn't pick that up easily. So instead of being wrong, this is the other really important thing. It wasn't wrong. It just took me until I got the phone all the way up here for me to realize I was squeezing it, which does not make it function better.
Okay.
And so then what happens is the phone becomes a reminder to notice. And every time, like all of our life, we are either getting easier or getting less easy. Getting less easy is not wrong. It's just a choice. And at any moment, you have the opportunity and choice to notice, oh, I'm moving in a direction of not very easy. Oh, if I pause, I can turn around and go in a direction of easiness. And so anything you notice is an opportunity to get easier. And so everything that happens actually is a good thing.
Laura, in some ways it's so simple, but that's the whole point of easiness, isn't it? It's about just noticing. And, I often, when I'm talking to clients and working with clients on a one-to-one basis, a lot of it is about stop focusing on what's going wrong and, just move into that place of what are you really enjoying? And just that movement of moving to what you enjoy and forgetting about what's not going quite right at the moment, helps people to get into that flow. Whereas what you're teaching with the Alexander technique through Dancing with Ease is even more basic than that. It's about the whole body getting easy and making life easy. And even just the way that you talk and the way that you've calmed me down in this last half an hour. I've had such in some ways a bizarre week. And today has been even more bizarre than normal. And, but just the way that you talk and the way that you got me to scan has literally, that pain is not there anymore in that right shoulder.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy.
And that... Some people might not get it straight away, but like you say, it is practice. And by starting with that morning and night, and then just starting to notice when they pick up their mobile phone, or they, clean their teeth, or, pick up their car keys, or, brush your hair, just some other time during the day and going, am I doing this easily? And if that can become a mantra for our daily lives, then that will automatically spill over into our businesses. Am I doing this easily? Am I, and am I at ease doing this?
And frame it as, I wonder how easily I can do this. Because when you say, am I easy? If the answer is no, it's very easy to say, well, dang it, I wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And so, I wonder how easy I am opens the door, and then right away you get easier just by wondering. Yeah. And you're right. This is, sometimes we say, well, if I could just change my mindset. Well, you can, but it's not that easy. But this is like an underneath way to do it.
Yeah. And
And,
it's brilliant, Laura.
oh,
So
thank
I
you.
mean, we have come to the end of our time together, but how can people learn more from you, and about you? I think you've got some exciting things coming up, haven't you?
I do. I'm getting ready to start a club. I'm calling it At Ease, AT for Alexander Technique. And it's a practice club so that people can come
Okay.
and share things that they, well, I tried to apply this to, talking to my husband, and we go like, oh, let's do something easier first. Or they can share their wins, that I was doing this, and when I got easier first, oh wow, it changed the whole outcome of what I thought would be a difficult conversation. And
Okay.
just like in our conversation, as long as I notice my easiness, you copy that. And before, when I was giving my bad example, you were like, oh my God. So we copy bad examples and good examples. And
Okay.
so in a group class, everyone gets a chance to learn from each other and to learn from each other's experiments and explorations.
Yeah.
And so on my webpage, you put the link up, which is really wonderful.
Yes.
They can sign up for information. I'm planning to open, my goal is opening right after the spring equinox. So for new growth and new
Fantastic.
prosperity. And
Yeah.
they can get more information. They can read some blogs. They can see how I apply it to different situations. And if anybody has questions, I do offer a 15, 20-minute free phone consultation, video phone conversation.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So,
Well, I think you will be getting some phone calls or some calls from this, and I think just the way that you've helped, and obviously I can't see myself really, but just the way I know that shoulder is easy now, and
I'm so glad.
just that very short time has helped, that calmness, that easiness. And as much as I love doing these conversations with people, sometimes we are, I've got to get through the next thing, or I need to type that up to show the listeners, that point that you've made. So my brain is going all sorts of different things, but you've made that so easy today, and I really, thank you for that, Laura. It's been brilliant. I've learned a lot.
I'm so glad. It's been a pleasure talking with you and
Yeah.
sharing these ideas. I'm so glad you invited me to be on your show. It's great. And
Yes.
when you look at the video, you'll get another lesson from watching the video.
Yes, I certainly will. I certainly will.
And I would love
So,
to hear from your group what they think, what they see, what they learn, what they hear.
yeah, thank you. We will be in touch.
Awesome.
So Laura from Dancing with Ease and your At Ease Club, or your At Ease group. It says At Ease Monthly Guided Learning Group. That's fantastic. And I'm Tracey-Jane Hughes from Manage Those Things and the Business Cheerleading Club, where we are helping people to grow their businesses easily in the right way for them. So it all fits together, and that's what I'm loving about all of this, Laura. Everything we need to be personally at ease with ourselves to make sure that our businesses are running as smoothly as possible. So you've helped with just a small tip today, but quite a significant one, I think, for a lot of people. So thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you in the future.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.